Listener Braiders, welcome to Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And today we're going to go over our top 10 favoriteest figures that came out this year.
Why is number 1 already on here, Steve?
Well, if you had a 0, number 10. We have this one here.
I said number 2, 0, 2.
Hey, but anyways, for an honorable mention.
Where'd she go?
She's over here. We have the Nendoroid Lena Inverse. Or Nendoroid? I always have a hard time saying
Nendoroid.
Nendoroid. That sounds okay. Anyways, for Lena, super awesome figure. Comes with a crap ton of stuff. Looks great. Reason why I didn't put her on the list is because, as happy as I was to get this figure, it's really hard to be impressed by this toy line.
It's Nendoroid or whatever it's called, anyways. At the end of the day, right?
Yeah, it's just like super chibi. Like I would much rather have these than say a Funko Pop.
Yeah,
for sure. But in terms of like display, she's never like the one that I look at whenever I'm staring at my collection, like just like glancing at it. She's always the one like I kind of glance over still, even though it was an awesome figure. But just compared to some of the other ones, she's just not as impressive. And moving on to number 10, we have the Robot Spirit Sterletzia from Darling in the Franxx. Not counting 02. She might be on a different list.
Yeah.
But reason why she's number 10 is this is a really solid figure. We did a review for this over up on Super On Port Reviews. Only real negative was she doesn't come with a Tamashii stand of herself. Granted, she has a stand she can use, but doesn't come with that to do cool articulated poses like you see right here. And maybe could use some more panel lining. But the big negative is you kind of need to buy her to make this figure complete.
Which is something we mentioned so many times. It's a total package. Two figures should be considered as one. Yeah, to be honest, like she's the one, the Sterletzia is the one you don't really need 02, but it greatly helps the figure. Like if it was this could be number 1. Yeah, oh god, yeah.
As a total package, could easily be number 1 on the things I bought in this year. But by themselves, she's still really awesome, but not quite there. We'll come back to you. So for number 9, we have the Essex Monster. It's Gamera 1999.
Only made number 9, Steve? You're looking forward to this guy.
Yeah, don't have any representation of this guy in my collection. Second favorite Gamera suit. As for a figure...
Here, I'll just want to shake hands with him.
Give me back my burning finger. The issue with this figure, the reason why it's here, is just stuff pops off of it real easy. Like, frustratingly easy in terms of articulating it. But it still impressed me.
No, overall, this figure is freaking amazing.
Yeah, still like detail-wise, great. With the way the head was set up, looking at the prototypes and even now, I think the head looks really nice in person. Teeth maybe could have been painted a little bit better, but for the most part, it doesn't have like the weird googly eyes you see in some of the other Monster Arts figures. That and just the paint job still is done really nicely on here. It's mainly just, I guess just like your normal super articulated figure problems of the ball joints.
Yeah.
That and maybe it would have been cool to maybe come with like a fireball for it to shoot out outside of just the burning finger. That we're probably not going to get an iris, so I feel like that kind of hurts this a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it definitely hurts it because it's one of those things like in the previous number. It's a total package, man. You need them both.
It'd be cool. But still a really nice figure, but when you're like getting to paying these prices, kind of expect like a certain amount of stuff out of these figures. And for him, pretty much on point. Like we still recommended them. But compared to some of the other stuff that came out this year, just doesn't hold up. Alright, so for number 8, we have the 3-0 Big Daddy from BioShock. Reason why he's so low on the list for being such a sweet looking figure is when he came in, we had to adjust things. Like the way his arms were set up so that he could actually articulate properly. And, what was it? This buckle was the glue seam didn't hold up.
He had some issues.
After messing around with him a bit, now he's an awesome figure. With realistic cloth here for the scuba suit, even got like leather for the straps. I kind of wish they maybe would use some die cast on him. Definitely would have helped to maybe center him out, but like him with having the light up features and also coming with a little sister, this is easily probably one of the coolest Big Daddy figures around.
Oh, definitely, and he looks amazing. Like, just presentation overall is worth the value.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, if you're a fan of the BioShock series, you kind of need to pick him up. Definitely a hefty price tag for this guy, because I think he was like $250-ish.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was worth it. Because it's more or less like the quality of like a Hot Toy sideshow, but awesomer because it's BioShock. Alright, next we have the Eshi's Figure Arts Super Sailor Venus.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Now, it's sad when Sailor Moon SH Monster art
Figure Arts.
SH Figure Arts look freaking amazing. And it's Sailor Moon. And the price on it is, compared to the other ones, is... Whew.
Yeah, she comes with a crap ton of stuff. I want to say it was like $60.
Yeah.
Like 60-ish for her.
I think you paid like 60.
It was like 65 maybe. Like, no more. But we've always stated that the Sailor Moon figures are always like probably the most bang for your buck figure arts to be picking up. And she's no exception, especially like the amount of detailing on this figure. Looks great, and I love how her move just kind of spins around her. Plus the stands are always super cool. And yeah, just I've never really been like disappointed in a Sailor Moon figure.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
The thing is, like Steve brought up the stand, they put so much effort into their freaking stands. There's details on it, the shape of it, everything.
Yeah, like the stand already looks better than anything we got with the Darling in the Franxx stuff. So, anyways, like she's not even like my favorite of the characters. It was just like the way the stand and everything set up. It was just this one easily just like blew me away the most, opening her up, especially at the price point. For number 6, we have probably the best Darling in the Franxx figure that came out this year with the Kotobukiya 02.
Oh man, she looks amazing.
Yeah, just the amount of detail put into this thing. Like again, like in the video, we point out it has belly button details.
My question to you
there's
is,
nothing at all to complain about.
Except what happened to her butt cheek, Steve.
Oh yeah, that just came like that, where it has like the little paint imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Godzilla got explaining to do.
Yeah, he just got a little excited, you know. Just, anyways, base is cool. Like there was just like, it's a Kotobukiya. Like I don't think I've ever been really disappointed with any of the Kotobukiyas I've gotten, statue-wise.
Statue-wise, yeah.
Like the only negative I would say is the hair is super terrifying, and like we said, like there's one major imperfection.
It's a scuff mark on the inside of her butt cheek.
Well, it's just like it's the red that's right here, but for some odd reason it ended up right there. so yeah, but granted, it's like you don't even barely see it. Like I usually have her posed sort of like that, the way I have it angled on my shelf. But definitely, probably if you're a fan of 02, this is the figure you need to get. Between like the Segas, the figure arts.
Definitely paid a few pennies extra and get it.
Oh yeah, for sure. For number 5, we have the Reborn Vasatosaurus Rex.
Somebody will yell at you. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. The V-Rex is from Kong, the Rebors. But yeah, this thing costs $45. Is gorgeous, even with like little articulation. But I knew that getting into this.
It's a statue. You don't expect like to have any articulation. So for them to put a open and closing mouth part, it's going above and beyond $45.
Yeah, that and the bend detail back here. So you get a little bit of play with it. But it's a really gorgeous looking figure. Like with the amount of detail put into this thing in terms of like the scaling, the face. Granted, fingers aren't technically correct, but who's counting? Still looks great standing next to the Eshi's Figure Arts con. I kind of wish they would have made a third one.
I was about to say, the only thing you did wrong here is you grabbed the wrong figure. It's the other guy that belongs down here.
No, this is the best one.
No, it's not.
Yep, in terms of coloring and the paint job, this is the best one. So we're going with the mountain version. Jungle was cool too, though. But like, with it being a slightly lower price point statue, even with the amount of detail put in it, the paint, like there is some imperfections here and there. And it might have been cool if maybe it had some sort of stand to go along with it.
Yeah, that was its only drawback that I remember that we said is the stand.
Yeah, there's nothing. Well, usually the reborns usually get a little bit of something, and it might have been so cool to have that to be able to distinguish between like the jungle and the mountain with a base outside of just like it's a different color, so that's how we know where it lives.
Even if they just took a piece of plastic for a stand and colored one green and one blue, you know.
Yeah, something. All right, so for number 4, we haven't gotten around to her review yet, but we'll get there. But easily the best Figma I've gotten all year, which is the Figma Aqua from Konosuba Season 2. Not like... there's not a whole lot to say about it, but there is a lot to say about it. Where this thing, like the amount of accessories it comes with is really impressive. The detailing on this thing, pretty spot on. Although somebody did point out that she's not, I don't think she's actually supposed to have panties.
No, she doesn't wear, she doesn't have underwear in the show.
That, and I know she doesn't come with like her sash you see in the first, like I know it's in the first episode. Well, then she has like her full god powers.
Yeah.
Like when she first meets Kazuka. And then, like, standard, you don't really see her with it, so I get it. The only real thing I would say is a negative for Aqua is that right there.
But you can't complain too much about that, though, Steve, because every Figma female character has something like that.
There's usually some issue with the hair, because, again, like, it makes it hard to pose and have a stand with them when they have the longer hair. And it might have been nice if maybe that was articulated a bit. Sadly, it's not.
Well, don't forget the Sword Art Online figures are articulated, and it falls off all the time.
Well, but those are bootlegs.
No, even the normal ones.
Well, yeah, but like if you would have had like a connection point here, and it lifts up a little bit.
That's the issue though with them is they don't.
Well, that's standard action figure problems. But I'd rather have the hair pop off once in a while than literally nothing.
Yeah.
Because then it's like I put the stand in. Now her head can never move back.
They should have made it where the at least like the hair's parted, where the stand connects in. You know.
Yeah, that would have looked weird though. Like I prefer the flowing look, but it's like if you're not gonna articulate it, why isn't that just one solid piece? Like if it was one solid piece, I wouldn't be complaining either. It's just like why is there a gap, a seam line there?
Hideous.
Like it's unnecessary for the most part.
It looks like she's got a broken back the way she stands on there, Steve.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't really messed around with it. I just put it on the stand so it wouldn't fall over while it was down here. But other than that, easily probably the coolest looking Konosuba I've gotten. Because I've sold all my old ones that I've had just to replace them with these. And I'm not disappointed. For number 3, we have the Quetzalcoatl Rory Mercury from Gates. Which is, our personal opinion, the best one to get.
Yeah,
there's the Kotobukiya, which looks good, but this thing's just like gorgeous. Especially with like we did a review of this in Super 2, where the axe is super cool looking. Love the way her hair is. It's terrifying, just like how it was with the 02, the Kotobukiya version. But everything just like flows so nicely with this figure, and easily the best anime statue I got in all year.
Oh, definitely.
Easily. He just anime in general because it's number 3. Spoiler alert: there isn't a higher anime figure.
But they put so much. Look, she even has little bows on her shoes. For love of God, like they're everywhere.
Yeah, just like everything's like nothing's like molded in that shouldn't be molded in.
Yeah.
So everything pops, and there's a lot of companies that don't do. Stockings. That's the word I'm looking for. Stockings, right? And they nailed her stockings, I feel. Which is weird for me to talk about. But like we've gotten some other figures with stockings and they're like,
It's like they just look weird.
Yeah, it's just this thing looks amazing, especially looking at her next to the anime character. Not too much to really complain about.
Only drawback to this figure, in my opinion, is where the axe is supposed to connect to the stand.
Yeah, it doesn't really hook.
It's supposed to be way back there, and then when you do that, it stretches her arm out in a weird way.
Yeah, or bends this. And the other issue is how much random stuff's hanging off of this thing. It is super fragile. Like, to be fair, I'm surprised I haven't broken it yet. But the problem is like how big she is. You can't really have her in a case, or at least she doesn't fit in anything I have.
Well, like, you remember I had mine in the case, Steve, and it was in the background. It takes the whole back.
Yeah,
the issue is the hair in the back, how far it sticks out.
Yeah, well, mine is like the axe. Like, it's just like she takes up so much space. So if I had her in a case, like, it'd just be for her, which probably wouldn't be a bad thing. So for number 2, we have the Soul Shigoken Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim.
Whoa, Steve! That is the wrong Gypsy Danger you were supposed to put on there.
No,
remember?
I'm pretty sure. No,
that one, Steve. That's number 2.
You have a different list. We'll come back to you. So, if you watch our top 10 worst figures, you've already seen 2 of them. Well, worst, we're using it sort of loosely. But anyways, back to the Soul Shigoken. This thing is freaking fantastic. Best Gypsy Danger.
Definitely.
Hands down.
God, this thing is freaking amazing. It's oh, God, just look at it.
Exactly. And usually, like, Shigokens, I enjoy them, but they never really wow me, especially at the price point. And this guy is not a cheap Shigoken. He was $220.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could have got 2 Gigantors for the price of 1 Gypsy. Even like my Big O, I think I paid like a little over $100 for that. Which I would still say my Big O is probably my favorite. But like this thing, you got working pistons. Things move like they should. He's fairly articulated, which is nice. He even lights up. And comes with most everything you wanted to see him to come with from the movie. I kind of want a battle damage version of him, though. Like, if they ever, like, make more of these, which they announced they were going to be doing more, and then we haven't seen crap, because there's a Crimson Typhoon, and I think Eureka Striker they have prototypes of, and seen nothing of them. And I hope we do, because the way this guy turned out just really makes me want to pick up the rest of them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, having pretty much any kind of Gypsy Danger you could buy, I've had it.
God, yeah, now I think about the whole list, yeah.
And this one is easily my top. Like, this thing's almost... if it wasn't for the other... If it wasn't for number 1 coming out, this guy would easily be number 1. Because personally, I think he's one of my more favorite figures in my collection. But bang for your buck.
Number 1 is number 1.
Number 1 is number 1 for a reason. But this guy and like MP10 are easily like my top 2 favorite figures I own. But I had to edge it out because the one is a little bit better, and for the price, not complaining. And you know what? We'll just get to them. And for number 1, we have the X Plus Godzilla 1965D Large Monster Series, which the reason why I have them at number 1, and like I said, Gypsy Danger, I like more than this figure, personally. But I had to put this guy at number 1 because for the price point, he's like 120-ish, which for a Large Monster Series, pretty good price. And I don't even like this suit.
Cookie Monster suit.
We've said it before, I'm not a fan of like the 65, 66 version of the suit. I just don't really care for it. But I picked this guy up because I wanted a version of him in my collection because I didn't own anything. And I'm like, the X Plus looks good. From what the pictures I've seen, I might get a Ghidorah. He'd look cool standing next to an X Plus Ghidorah. And after getting him, like...
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Just looks exactly like the suit in the film, which is the whole reason why you want to buy an X Plus. Only real negative, I'd say maybe a little bit more paint, but that's it. Well, then the weird seam line for the foot.
Well, but look at like the arms. Like you can't see the seam line there.
Yeah, well, that's all solid.
Yeah.
Like there's the seam at the elbow, but it's not very noticeable, especially like you're going to be posing from like the front and the sides. So you're never going to see it. And even like the foot one, like the way you pose them, you never see it. So... yeah, like I'm just buying him. Like he's easily one of my more favorite X Pluses I own now.
Definitely.
Just in terms of detailing. Because it's probably him, 62.
Destroyer.
No. I like Biolante I really liked. And then like my Ultraman ones.
Oh, Destroyer's...
It's good, but not quite the way the suit is.
I guess that would be the best way of putting it. It's not suit accurate.
Yeah, it's like the same as the Burning Godzilla. Like, it's cool, but it's not quite right. So, like, I like it, but I'm not, like, madly in love with the thing. Unlike this guy. Like, he makes me want to go buy an Ebra. And a Rodin. I don't even really want them, but I feel like I need them to pose with him because he needs friends. But anyways, let us know in the comment section below which was your favorite figure you got this year, or just figures you've seen this year. Which ones would you have liked to have bought? And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.